Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My dear students, how are you? I hope you are enjoying the best of health. I welcome you in my class. So that is English for grade 1. We are learning unit 9. Its title is Making Q is Important. My dear fellow teachers, this lesson plan, PowerPoint presentation and worksheet links are given. You may click it, download it, follow it as it is or modify it for your convenience. I'm going to deliver my lecture according to this lesson plan. Yes, my dear students, today under the title of punctuation, we are going to learn about question mark. Before this, in your English primer, you have learned about punctuation marks. I hope you remember. If not, you may watch this video lecture again, and we are going to learn further to recognize and use a question mark at the end of a question. Let's start with the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah mentions in Quran, Surah Yusuf, verse 7, verily in Yusuf and his brothers, there are many signs for those who ask questions. Yes, my dear students, what this beautiful verse is telling us. Beta Surah Yusuf is one of a beautiful story. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling this story to our beloved Prophet Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So it is a message for us as well. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, there are many signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the people who ask questions, because you know, people used to come to our beloved Prophet Hazrat Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and ask different questions. So one of the group came to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and said, tell us about Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning this in Quran. Now this verse is telling us questions. So what is a question? Do you remember? Is it a rainbow? It's a question. And when we ask a question, we say it in a way, the way we are asking, is it a rainbow? But when we write a question, we place this question mark at the end of this question. And how do we answer it? Yes, it is a rainbow. This is how we ask and answer the questions. So teacher, on the same pattern, kindly ask different questions from the students and tell them these are question statements. So pause the video, enjoy this activity, and then come back. Yes, my dear students. So your teacher asked you different questions. So this is a question mark. Whenever we write, when we say it, we just express it. But when we write it, we place this question mark to tell that it's a question. We use a question mark at the end of a question. It means when we ask or inquire about something, we place a question mark. And where do we place it? Where do we place it? At the end of the question. And better, if you don't put it, it means you made a mistake. If you don't place a question mark at the end of a question, where it means a question is there, and you should end it with a question mark. Okay. So let's see what does your book say about it. All of you open your book on page number 75. Grammar, punctuation. A question mark is a punctuation mark. And beta, what are punctuation marks, by the way? Such type of signs which you find in sentences, these are known as punctuation. You see, here we place question mark, here we place a full stop. So such type of signs are known as punctuation marks, and question mark is one of those. So that is used, means a question mark is used at the end of a question. For example, where is my favorite shirt? Now we know this is a question word and it is a question. So how should we end it? By placing a question mark. How are you? So we are asking, how are you? It's a question. So we should end it with a question mark. So whenever we write a question, we use this question mark at the end of the question, right? So it's time for activity. Teacher will write sentences on board and students will write punctuations. So teacher, you may use full stop and question mark because students have already learned full stop. So you can give them both type of statements, questions and simple statements. Let's find, can they identify questions? So pause the video, enjoy this activity. Every student is going to participate, and after this activity, kindly come back. Yes, my dear students. Now you can identify where to put a full stop and where to use a question mark, right? So let's practice it in your book. All of you do this question number 3. Rewrite the following sentences using question mark in your notebook. So you have to do this in your notebook. Pause the video, complete this task in your notebook, and then come back. Yes, my dear children, are you done with it? Good job, you are smart. Now it's time for your homework. You will read the questions and circle all the question marks on page number 75 of your book, right? And here is a worksheet, my dear fellow teachers. This worksheet, lesson plan, PowerPoint presentation links are given. You may click it, download it, and kindly provide a printed worksheet to students for practice. And students, what you are going to do, you will write a full stop or a question mark reading the statement, either it's a question or not, right? So what we have learned today, we recognized question mark, and how does it look like? This is how we write it. And we practiced the use of question mark. So in this way, we achieved our SLO to recognize and use a question mark at the end of a question. Are we done with it? Yes, so that's it for today. Tomorrow I'll come again with a very interesting lesson. Till that time, keep learning and take really good care of yourself. Thank you and Allah Hafiz.